Let us not forget everything that happens is by the will of Allah. It's time to unite and stand, and we will be the best amongst men. It's not time to be extreme or newly unthinkable, but to stand together as one. Into Sunnah followers, streaming every day, various platforms. Trust me, you'll find a way. Sunnah followers.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Guys, mark your calendars. Friday, February 2nd, 2024, from 9 p.m. till 11 p.m. Eastern. We have a special presentation by Muhammad Ziada, who works with the Broward County Sheriff's Department in Florida. We also have a special co-host, our very own Dr. Ibrahim Jamali. The special topic is the impact of social media upon this nation and how to climb out of its web. How to prevent social media from destroying you and your family, and how social media destroys marriages. Also, how we should not use social media as a format for looking for marriage. So tell a friend to tell a friend about this special presentation streaming right here on Sunnah Followers.
This is Yusuf and this is Ayub. And if you are benefiting like we are from the classes and the ongoing programming and tuning into the Sunnah followers, please donate. Let this be an ongoing Sadaqah Jariyah on your behalf. You're helping the kids, the converts, and everyone seeking knowledge. And it's a wealth of information every day you tune in. Don't forget, you are being rewarded for your generous donations to keep this programming on air. You know, just like what you're hearing, put your dollar where the dollar's at. Right here on Sunnah Followers. Don't forget, donate. Right here to Sunnah Followers and dollars at. Assalamu alaikum. Rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Excuse me. Alhamdulillah wa salat wa salam ala wa rasulallah. I apologize for being a little late today. I had to take the garbage out and check my mail and stuff, and I didn't know it would take that long. But alhamdulillah, welcome to our Aqidah program. And this is our Aqidah program, which is we're focusing in on what it means to believe in Allah. And a lot of you, I was also reading some of the text messages. Right before this class, we had the class with Dr. Asim. Dr. Asim, who is our Quranic studies teacher here at Sunnah Followers. He has a PhD, not only in Islamic, the Fusha and all of that, but also he's a scientist too, a PhD in science as well. And alhamdulillah, it's always a pleasure to join his classes, because I'm telling you, you will learn something, because it's not every day that you come upon people who speak the Fusha, which is the original Arabic. And when you sit in a company of people who know the classical Arabic, your whole understanding of that Quran changes, because you get to see that the transliteration of the meaning of what we read in French or English or Spanish, it's nothing like the original Arabic. I mean, we don't have a third of the understanding that the Arabic those words of the Quran really mean. And that's why I say there's a lot of, this is what the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam meant when he said there will appear amongst the people many who will be able to recite the Quran. but they won't have any understanding of what Allah is saying, because the language will become forgotten, abandoned, and all of that. And they also will not know the hadiths, which are the explanation of it. Alhamdulillah, the verse of the Quran that Dr. Assam went over today is what we have been speaking about. Because again, Dr. Assam's one of the scholars here of my website. We have Sheikh Morsi, who is the founding scholar. Then we have Dr. Ibrahim Jamali, we have Sheikh Atli, and we have Dr. Assam. Okay, Dr. Assam has been here for over 30 years too, and he's always done the Quranic Studies department. And he listens to my classes because Aqidah, like I tell you guys, your belief system is the core of everything. So he listens, like Sheikh Morsi does and Jamali does, to my classes to see what I am teaching you. So then he in turn will know what to come back and reiterate upon. So in his class, which is held every Saturday, Reflections of the Quran, and now today he's speaking of, you know, how Shaitan can mislead us. And he gave the true meaning of that verse of the Quran that so many Muslims, Arab and non-Arab alike, misconstrue the meaning of. The verse where Allah speaks about how Shaitan, Iblis, became so angry at the fact that Allah forgave Adam, and that Allah chose mankind to be superior over him, Iblis. That's when Iblis made that statement. He said, "Oh Allah, I will attack them from the front, from the back, from the left, from the right. I will make things appear good to them that go against their nature. I will cause them to deviate away from the nature in which you created them." That's what that verse really, if we were to translate that verse into better English, like I told you guys, the people that translated the Quran did the best they could do. But English is a changing language. It changes. It changes all the time, especially American English, as you all know. You know, Americans haven't spoken English in centuries. But if we were to rewrite that verse in English, the meaning of it, you know, that's what he was speaking about, changing the Fitrah. Shaitan, Iblis, was talking about attacking us to take us away from that Fitrah. That Fitrah, when Allah had all the souls gathered together on Mount Arafat and testify to him. Okay, that's what Iblis is talking about. I will do everything in my power to pull them away from the natural nature that you have embedded within them, to believe in you and to worship you alone and to trust in you and to recognize what's good, what's clean. That's what that verse is speaking about. It's not talking about plastic surgery. You hear a lot of uneducated Muslims say, "Oh, well, what's the dalil that we can't have plastic surgery?" Oh, Allah says, Shaitan said he's going to make man change the nature of Allah. That's not what that verse is talking about. Somebody goes to the dentist and get you get braces put on your teeth. And then they tell you, "Oh, astaghfirullah, you're going to hell because it's haram to have braces. This is changing the nature that Allah made you in." You know, no, it's not talking about the outside. It's talking about the Fitrah, that verse. So this was a wonderful class that Dr. Assam gave today, you know, because we're going to speak about that in this class. In fact, next week, inshallah, you know, we're going to get to what happened on that Mount Arafat. After the souls testified to belief in Allah, and after the human souls chose free will, that's when Iblis made that statement. Okay, and we're going to go into detail about that verse next week. But again, like I said, most people today do not speak the Fusha. Okay, most Muslims today do not know the hadiths, which are the explanation. I don't speak the Fusha, but all my teachers did. Sheikh Karadari, Umar el-Eshkar, Sheikh Morsi, Dr. Asim, they all speak the Fusha and spoke it. And I know the hadiths, okay? So I knew what that verse meant. And that's why when a lot of you come to people who do understand the meaning of that Quran and y'all ask us questions like, is plastic surgery lawful or not? You know, we give you a totally different answer than what those other Muslims tell you. And they quote that verse when that verse is not addressing that. When the lawful and unlawful have been clearly defined. If you're going to tell a person it's haram to have plastic surgery, you find the verse in the Quran that says it's haram to have plastic surgery. You don't take a verse like that where Shaitan is addressing the Fitrah and try to say that applies to your outward appearance. I mean, come on, people. But these are the days. These are the days of the Ruwaybidah. The Ruwaybidah. The Ruwaybidah. And the prophet was asked, who are the Ruwaybidah? They are the ignorant people who have everything to say about what's going on in the world. They can talk about politics. They can tell you about what's happening in the world. But they can talk and talk and talk. But if you were to ask them the basics about this religion, they don't know the answers. They don't know what it means to believe in Allah. They don't know the pillars of the prayer. They don't know the pillars of the Shahada. They don't know the pillars of Hajj. They don't know the pillars of fasting. They don't know and they don't know. But they got a lot to say. Those are the Ruwaybidah. They are all amongst us. Most of the people that you guys listen to on YouTube and Facebook are nothing but plain Ruwaybidah, who take the verses of the Quran, twist them around, take the hadiths, misconstrue the meanings. We have to be very careful because Shaitan made that pledge and he's holding true to it. He's doing everything he can with him and his allies to take us away from what we were created to do, which is to worship Allah. And that's what we're going to speak about today, too. For those of you, the book that we are speaking, learning from in this class, I hope everybody has a copy of it, is the book written by Sheikh Karim Abu Zaid entitled Diluting El-Wala Wal-Bara, the Unveiled Trilogy. This is volume 2. You need to get it from Amazon.com, $19.99. Buy volume 1, and this is volume 2. Because we're speaking about in this volume how to awaken your faith, how to keep your faith strong when you're living in a non-religious environment, a non-religious world, a world that is anti-Islam. That's the thing. This is a world where Shaitan has more awliya, more allies than Allah. Shaitan and his followers, they're holding true. They're making the evil appear to be good and the good appear to be evil. They're making the truth appear to be falsehood and the falsehood appear to be truthfulness. That's what that verse is speaking about. He and his awliya, his allies, are doing everything to diminish that little bit of light that was left over from that soul that's now in our heart. Some of us have lost the light. Some of us, it's too late. Our hearts have become blackened, and the way back is very hard. Once your heart becomes black and hard, you're done. Only Allah can save you. SubhanAllah. It's hard to come back when that light is totally extinguished. You become an awliya of shaitan then. Without that light, that's it. You're an awliya of shaitan. You're one of his denizens. You're part of his soldiers. You're of his army. You'll be following the Antichrist, the Dajjal, You'll be doing what a lot of these people are doing, fighting against those of us of the truth, slandering us, talking about us, trying to tear us down, and all of that. So take out your books. Today, we're going to cover pages 55 through 59, which speaks about how it's so important for us as Muslims living in a non-Muslim, a non-religious, a non-Islamic society to be mindful of the politics. We don't get involved in them, but you don't want to live in a vacuum. You need to be aware of what political platforms are out there, what social platforms are out there, because these things have an impact on your fitrah. So that's what we're going to be speaking about today. And what I'm going to do, let me set it up for everyone. And what I want all of you to do, again, I'm reminding you every day, is when I put the PowerPoint up, take screenshots with your cell phone and print the PowerPoints out at the end of the class, and then staple them together, the pages together, and clip them to page 55 of the book. So that way you can always review, and go over using my PowerPoint notes and stuff to help explain what the Sheikh has put in the book. So let me, hold on, let me try to take everything off. I'm trying to take it down. And let me, first of all, I'm working two computers. So let me switch. Okay, that's opened already. Let me switch this computer to the PowerPoint. Inshallah, this will be popping up on everybody's screen. And now for the people on Zoom, let me change for you guys. I'm going to share the people on Zoom to Instagram. Oh, God, I can't, as usual. Always a problem. Hold on. Go back. Okay. Let's try it again. Okay, that's Instagram for the people on the Zoom room. And so inshallah, now I'm going to, okay, make it even bigger. Try to anyway. Give it a second here. Here we go. Full screen with the PowerPoint. Open that and slideshow. Okay, inshallah, this should be full screen on everybody's computer. And this is pages 55 through 59. I try to put the pages on the PowerPoint too, so when you print them out. And today we're going to be discussing what Sheikh Karim Abu Zayd discusses in this part, or this section of the chapter, is socio-political platforms and how they impact the human fitrah. And that's why it's important we don't get off into the politics. We should not get off into these political arenas. I want every Muslim listening to me, because there's a lot of Muslims here in America that say that we should vote in presidential elections. Are you out of your mind? No Muslim anywhere in the world should ever participate in any presidential elections if the parties running are non-Muslim. Why? Because Allah said so. I'm going to give you the dalil. Allah says in the Quran, in the interpretation, the meaning, they will never accept you. They will never accept you, no matter how it's your ardent desire. They will never be in your favor. We have a lot of Americans, Muslims, who say, oh, we should vote in elections so our voice can be heard. Are you calling Allah a liar? Allah tells us they will never hear our voice. Our voice will never be heard. Also, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said it is unlawful. He said a non-Muslim can never, ever, ever be a guardian or ruler over a Muslim. That's why Muslim women cannot marry non-Muslim men. That's why a Muslim woman has to have a Muslim guardian. You guys cannot twist the religion around to suit your needs. You want to say, oh, I'm in America, so I want my voice to be heard, so I'm going to go out and vote. Okay, then let me say this. I'm lailanasheeba, and I just want to be heard, so let me go marry Tom Cruise. Because Tom Cruise is rich and famous. Tom Cruise is a popular actor. Maybe I can give him dower. And by giving Tom Cruise dower, I'm giving dower to America. I can use the same stupidity and make it lawful for a Muslim woman to marry a non-Muslim man. We got to stop playing with this religion. This is why Allah is angry with us. This is why Allah is sending the trials and tribulations to us. We cannot pick and choose what parts of the religion to accept. Neither can we take the words of Allah and twist them out of context like you all are doing. We do not participate in non-Muslim elections, period, dot, because they are never going to be in your interest. Obama proved that to you American Muslims. Oh, you American Muslims, y'all went out and put that man in the White House. And when y'all put him in, what did he do? He sent all those weapons. All those weapons. What's going on in Gaza was already in the making then, because it was already happening in other parts like China and other parts of the world. Who do y'all think sent Israel those weapons they're using? Obama did, when you idiots voted for him. Okay? He made that same-sex marriage legal in America. The only place in the world you can come and a man can marry a man and a woman can marry a woman. This is what happens when you try to mix Kafirism with Islamism. You can't mix the two. Just like Dr. Haitham was saying in his lecture today, his class today. Why is it you cannot mix music with the Quran? There's no way that you can be a musician and think you understand and you can read the Quran. You can't mix the two. They cancel out each other. Well, just like music and the Quran cancel each other out. You thinking that you can vote for a non-Muslim to be your ruler, you're canceling out your faith. So I want y'all to remember that, because it's election time soon again. And you're going to see a lot of these American Muslims trying to tell y'all to go out and vote for another kafir, telling y'all this kafir's promising to stop the war in Gaza. He's a liar. Ain't none of them going to stop the war in Gaza. Okay? Allah already done talked about that too. The Prophet Muhammad told y'all what was going to happen. This has all been written. So it has been written. So it's being carried out. So don't be duped by these non-educated Muslims who try to tell you to support non-believers and put them as rulers over you. Okay? Because as Allah says, they will never, ever, ever, ever have your interests at heart. Never. Allah is clear in the Quran on that. Y'all understand that? All right. So, but that doesn't mean for us to be ignorant as to what's going on around us. We don't participate in non-Muslim presidential elections, but that doesn't mean that we are supposed to be ignorant as to what platforms they're running on. What are they talking about doing? That's what we're going to talk about here. So let's see what the Sheikh put here. And by the way, Sheikh Kareem Abu Zaid was also, back when Obama was running for president and all that crap, I'm a daya. I've been a daya for over 45 years. I've always taught and preached against participating in elections. I'm not saying that nobody else did, but the only people that I personally heard try to tell the people not to do it was myself, Muhammad Saeed Atlee, Kareem Abu Zaid. I'm talking about here in America. We're the only three. I've listened to a lot of other famous daya, famous speakers. They were sitting around encouraging you guys to get in that White House. I just remember I kept preaching against it. Kareem Abu Zaid kept preaching against it. Muhammad S. Atlee kept preaching against it. We didn't get listened to. Y'all listened to all those other famous brothers and sisters. Now you paying the cost of Gaza as a result, and so much other same-sex marriage and so many things. Oh, there's so many terrible laws that Obama passed that y'all don't know about. Anybody with American citizenship, even though you don't live in America, they have to pay income tax. Did y'all know that? It's all about the falus. Even though you were born somewhere else, but because you got citizenship because your mama or your daddy is an American, guess what? They have to pay income tax, especially if they living in the Gulf area, the Middle East. Oh yeah, Obama got y'all. He got y'all good. But the question is, did you learn? Did you learn? Many of you didn't, because y'all going to be running to the ballots again to put another kafir in who's just as bad as he was, if not worse. A kafir is a kafir is a kafir. That's what Allah said. Y'all better believe in Allah. Okay, so, but that doesn't mean that we remain ignorant of what they plan to do. It's important for us to know the non-Muslims' viewpoints and their ideas regarding their social, political, and economic platforms. Voices from non-Muslim communities tend to predominate these platforms, which in turn shapes public debate and society's standards. So as Muslims, we need to know what's going on. And we can better understand the obstacles we face in preserving our faith and managing the intricacies of a culture that is not centered on our faith if we examine the impact that those platforms have on it. So we're not ignorant. Allah hates ignorance. We have to live our lives obeying Allah, sticking to his plan. But also Allah wants us to be informed as to what's going on around us. The Prophet Muhammad, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, didn't participate in those elections and things of the Persians and the Romans. He didn't get off into their political arena, but he was aware of what was going on. He knew who was running for office and what their platform was, and he would talk about it with the companions. He didn't participate in it. He didn't go around telling people to vote or like you guys were doing. But he was aware of what they were running, what their platforms were, so we know how it would impact us. Society's public opinion and cultural values are influenced by the social platforms, such as the media and the entertainment. Like I said, you don't want to live in a bubble, live in a vacuum where you don't watch TV, you don't listen to the news. We need to know what's going on. Look at me, I'm a dyer. I do not sit around listening to music, but subhanAllah, I keep myself up to date on what the youth are into, what the youth are doing, so I can talk about it in my dawah, so I can warn and advise. We have to be aware of what's going on around us. We can't live in this bubble thinking, I'm going to stay in my home and be ignorant. No, we have to know. So that way we can detect the biases and problems that may arise, for us. Does everybody understand that? So if this is another example of better distancing, I'm going to distance myself from that which opposes what Allah says. I'm going to distance myself from participating in presidential elections. But that doesn't mean that I'm going to be ignorant as to what their platforms are, what they're running on, what they're talking about doing. Does everybody understand? And in turn, we can come up with methods to help preserve our faith, to help preserve the Fitrah for our children by knowing what's going on. We know what to teach in our Islamic schools if we knew what they were teaching in theirs. We know what to write about, what to speak out against if we knew what those president candidates were running on. We're not voting, but we have a voice. You can exercise your voice by calling people away from that. Exercise your voice by going into your Islamic communities and warning the people what to stay clear of. Does everybody understand? That's how the prophet did. He didn't get involved in that junk. He didn't get involved in the Romans and Persians political crap, but he was aware of what was going on with them. That's why when Persia elected a woman as its ruler, as its governor, its monarch, he said any nation that puts a woman as its leader will fail. That's an example. He knew what was going on. He said, who did they nominate? Who did they put in as their ruler? A woman. Oh, wow. They blew it. And he was able to take that information and educate us as to why we should not do that. So we need to be aware of what's going on, but learn how to distance ourselves from it. Political platforms have a significant bearing on governance and public policies. We become better equipped to navigate the terrain of society and to argue for policies that are in accordance to our faith. Y'all understand that? You got to know what they are. If you knew that Obama, he tricked all of you, but if you knew that Obama was advocating same-sex marriage, you probably wouldn't have went out and voted for him. You would have been able to speak out against him and against what he was doing, okay? If you knew that he was advocating that anybody holding an American citizenship, no matter where they live on the earth, they have to pay income taxes off of their money, even though they've never been here, you could have spoke out against it. So we have to be informed of the political dynamics of each situation, and we need to be informed of what, is going on around us, basically. Everybody understand that? And also, we have to understand their worldviews also impact business and commerce. Again, we have to know what's going on with business and commerce. One of the things that bothers me as a daya is how ignorant American Muslims and other Muslims are about business. Like I said, you guys don't know what a franchise is. That's embarrassing. You want to boycott, that's your business. But you better know what you boycotting. Oh my God, these places that y'all are boycotting have nothing to do with anything. They're just a franchise. You're not hurting nobody. You're not hurting Israel. You're doing nothing except hurting that businessman who owns that McDonald's that you boycotting. It's a franchise. We have to know what about business and commerce. We have to know what business does oppose Islamic principles and values. We have to know what business imposes our behaviors and all of that. Well, we're not educated. Like the Prophet said, we are a simple-minded nation. The Prophet ﷺ said, my nation does not have the intelligence of the nations that came before it. He also said there are 6 reasons as to why the Christians will always be in a majority over us. And one of them is they're educated. They're educated about what's going on in the world around them. We're not. We want to participate in things that we don't understand. We give into our soul. Remember, the human soul, since it no longer has that Fitrah in it, because the Fitrah is now to the heart. The soul is curious. The soul is attracted to what it doesn't understand. The soul wants to experience anything new. So we're quick to jump on the bandwagon to support things that we don't know nothing about. The Christians don't do that. They educate themselves before they react. And that's one of the reasons the Prophet said they will always be in a majority over us. Before they react, they investigate. We don't. We're emotional. We get emotional without investigating. Okay? So, cultivating the Fitrah in a society that does not emphasize faith is important. This is one of the questions Dr. Haitham asked y'all today in his class. He said, what can we do? What can you do to cultivate that Fitrah? What can you do to keep Iblis from trying to pull your children away from what Allah originally created them to do? Well, we have to understand it's easier said than done. Okay? But to cultivate the Fitrah in a society that does not emphasize faith is essential. Even though it's hard, it's essential because we're going to face challenges that's going to distract us from our natural tendency. This is what Dr. Haitham was talking about. We're going to be faced with challenges or distractions that's going to take us away from our natural tendency to follow what Allah tells us to follow. Does everybody understand that? So it's a hard progress. Remember, the Prophet said the road to paradise is not easy. The road to paradise is hard. because you're going to have to ignore that soul, and you're going to have to follow that fitrah. The fitrah lays the groundwork for us, the groundwork for us to discover and acknowledge the truth. The fitrah lays the groundwork for us to continue to have belief in Allah and to make sure that our behavior is in accordance to what He says. If we were doing what Allah said, we wouldn't have never voted for Obama. If we were obeying Allah, because He speaks about this in the Quran, the Prophet Muhammad has spoken about it in numerous hadiths, how we cannot trust non-Muslims to be rulers over us. If we had obeyed them, then we wouldn't find ourselves like we are. By the way, Obama got in office because he was a smart man. Remember, the Christians, like the prophet said, they'll have the upper hand because they are intelligent. He knew the only way as a black man he could get to be president is by getting the minority vote, because America is a melting pot. He knew that. America is a melting pot. The Aryan race ain't here. You got a few Aryan race. Trump is the Aryan race, but most people are of minority background. So what did he do? He campaigned to the minorities. He campaigned and even went and got the Muslims. He knew that Muslims don't vote. He knew that. He studied the religion. He knows that we're not supposed to vote for non-Muslims to be rulers. So what did he do? He hit the mosques. He started going to all the mosques around America, talking about how his father was a Muslim. But none of y'all thought about it. Well, if his father's a Muslim and he's a Christian, that means he's an apostate. What does the law say about an apostate? An apostate. But see, we didn't think of that. We sat there and let him talk his game. Oh, I'm a black man from out of Somalia, and my father, I went to Quran school. He gave y'all all y'all wanted to hear and was stabbing you in the back as he did it. But he's smart. He knew how to get in there. He got in there off of all the minority votes, because America is nothing but a melting pot. It always believed in the Aryan race, but it's not here. They're all diluted. Everybody's a mutt. Okay. He went out into the ghettos. He got the drug dealers to support him. He got the hip hop artists to support him. He went out and got the Jews to support him, the rabbis. He even went out to Amish land. Oh, yeah, Obama was smart. He got the Amish people who don't believe in voting. He even had them voting for him. He was smart, and y'all fell for it. I didn't. Muhammad Assadli didn't. Kareem Abu-Zayd didn't, but y'all didn't listen to us. That loudmouth Layla, nobody listens to her anyway. Okay? You should have listened. So the fitrah lays the groundwork for us to discover and acknowledge the truth and to continue on our journey towards Allah. And it's a hard journey. And in order to keep that fitrah strong, this is what Dr. Asim was speaking about. In order to keep our fitrah strong, we have to be consistent. And number one, seeking the proper knowledge of our religion. That's number one. We have to be consistent in learning this religion, learning it correctly. We have to stop being duped by the ruwaybidah. We have to stop being duped by the good speakers, those men and women that have the beautiful accents, that can use big words and hypnotize you with their words. Get you to go out and disobey Allah like you did with them elections. Okay? So we have to be consistent in seeking the correct knowledge of Islam. Understand, guys, the truth. The truth has always been a bitter pill to swallow. Allah tells us that. The Prophet tells us that. The truth hurts. The truth can be very hurtful. So those dire, those men, those women that you don't like listening to because you say they hurt you, they're the ones probably speaking the truth. Because remember, Iblis swore that he will make the good appear evil and the evil appear good. So that loudmouth sister Layla, who you don't like to listen to, number one, Allah commands her to be loud when she's publicly speaking. You forgot that. A woman's voice is not order, but Allah says when a believing woman speaks publicly, she better make her voice loud and make her voice harsh like mine is. But see, Iblis got you thinking that's bad. You should have been listening to it. That brother over there that's telling you what you don't want to hear, but he's giving you the evidence. He's telling you that it's haram and he's got the clear proof. You should have been listening to him instead of listening to that okie doke down the street telling you it's okay, brother. Just do what you feel good doing, and Allah forgives all sins. Allah forgives all sins. You're listening to that. See, Shaitan, he's holding true to that promise that he made to take you away from that natural tendency to do what's right. So the way to rebuke him is by seeking the correct knowledge of Islam, not being duped by beautiful voices. The Prophet says that in a hadith. He says some people can take words and they're magicians. They do witchcraft by making words and their voices all appealing to you. Y'all need to stop listening to them people. And y'all better check out us harsh ones. Listen to that loudmouth sister with the harsh voice, because the truth is never pleasant. Okay? Also, another way to keep that fitrah strong is by being regular and consistent in performing your religious obligations, making those 5 prayers every day, being consistent in giving charity, being consistent in making that winter prayer, being consistent in making that duha prayer. Remember, the Prophet ﷺ said, Allah loves for us to do good deeds that are easy for us, but to be consistent with them. Don't stop doing it. And also, as we talked about today with Sister Sahar, another way to keep your fitrah wanting to perform its natural tendency is by surrounding yourself with strong, practicing Muslims. I ain't talking about the weak ones. Remember, only the strong survive, guys. In this day and age, if you weak, you're going to get tossed back to the side. Remember, life is a circle. It goes around and around. History repeats itself. Okay? Only the strong survive. The strong believer is more beloved by Allah than the weak one. So you need to surround yourself with Muslims who are practicing this deen. Muslims who are wearing the hijab, performing their prayers, growing their beards, who are seeking knowledge on a regular basis, who perform the voluntary deeds, who take care of their obligations. Those non-practicing Muslims or those weak ones, y'all need to toss them to the curb. And you need to also attach yourself to a strong Islamic community. Find a masjid. Find Muslims a masjid that has a good imam, an imam that's going to tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. An imam that ain't governed by a board of directors. That's the problem in America. These nonprofit board of directors who want you to interfaith and do and appease them. No, you want a community where the imam rules. The imam rules this mosque. Okay? For those of us who are able to do this and maintain and cultivate our fitrah, we have to be proactive and intentional in our religious practice. And to deepen our spiritual relationship with Allah, we have to, again, be regular and consistent in all these deeds, good deeds. And I want y'all to remember the Prophet Muhammad, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, said any good deed is an act of charity. Helping an old lady across the street, that's an act of charity. Watering the plants, that's an act of charity. Feeding the ducks, that's an act of charity. Donating to Sunnahfollowers, that's an act of charity. Helping your mother cook, helping your father wash the car. Any good deed that you or I do is an action of charity. The Prophet said, be consistent with it. Be consistent with it. How many good deeds have we done today? When you wake up, ask yourself, what can I do today that will cause my Lord to love me more, that will cause me to get closer to Allah? That's what I do. Every day when I wake up, and I wake up at some crazy times of the day, but I always say, oh Allah, thank you. Thank you for giving me another chance to earn your love, to earn your pleasure, and to be in the company of my Prophet, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And then I say, oh Allah, what can I do today that will shake the hearts of those who come to hear me, so that I can earn a good charity, a good reward with you? I say that every day. And I sit here and make dua before I do each class, because I want this to be a great charity for me. The best gift you can give is the gift of understanding to someone, understanding of the deen, subhanallah. That's powerful. So as Muslims, the way that we can maintain our fitrah, living in a secular world that we're living in, is by being proactive and intentional in our religious practice. Intentions are important. Intentions meaning whatever I do for Allah. When I sit here on this internet, I'm not doing this because I'm trying to find a mate. Layla been single for over 30 years. It ain't about no husband. I might be thinking about a husband soon, but I ain't doing it to get one. That's for darn sure. Because you ain't going to find nothing good off the internet anyway. We're going to talk about that in the Q&A class on Friday with Dr. Jamali and Brother Muhammad Ziyada, inshallah. Put it down on your schedule. I'm not sitting here doing this dawah for no fame either. Because I learned from David Bowie, fame. Where did it get David Bowie? Okay? And I'm definitely not doing it for no money, because can't even get the donations to pay this website. More or less, if I wanted to get some money for me, I could forget it. Thank God Allah made me independent, self-sufficient. Like Sheikh Morsi told you guys when he did his Q&A, any good deeds that we do, any actions of charity, because all actions of charity are all good deeds are actions of charity. If you want Allah to accept your deeds, it has to be done for him, not for your mother, not for your brother, not for your husband. I'm giving dawah because I want Allah to be pleased with me. I don't care about the people hating me. I could care less about the people in the world. I just want my Lord to be pleased with me. When I walk out the house, I make sure that I am covered the way Allah commanded. I have on my hijab, I have on my jilbab, and I make sure that I look beautiful and clean because that's dawah. And I do it for Allah. I ain't got no husband, got no kids either. I'm doing it for Allah. Because I want him to say, Layla, you represented the females of this nation beautifully whenever you went out in the public. Okay? You don't wear a hijab for your husband. You don't wear a hijab for your parents. You do it for Allah. And like Allah told the angel Jibreel, when I love a person, when Allah loves you, he will call the angel Jibreel to him, and he will say, oh, Jibreel, I love her, and I want you to love her. And so Jibreel will go and announce to all the inhabitants of paradise, of the heavens, Allah loves so-and-so, and Allah wants you to love her too. And then the angels of mercy will descend upon the earth, and they will cause the people who need to love you to love you. Y'all understand? That's what Sheikh Morsi was trying to tell y'all. If you sisters cover your face, you ain't doing it to please no man. Covering your face is not an obligation in Islam. If your husband tells you to cover your face for him, you tell him, no, I'm not doing nothing for you. Because if I did it for you, it wouldn't be accepted by Allah. The simple fact that you told him that will cause Allah to love you and will cause those angels of mercy to make those who need to love you love you. Y'all understand that? Intentions are everything. As Muslims, we are proactive. And as Muslims, our intentions, anything we do for Allah. Not for the people, not for money, not for fame. Does everybody understand that? So now let's see how well you guys understand what I talked about today. I mean, the politics. We don't participate in it, but we have to be educated of them, of what's going on, and we can speak out against it or, you know, whatever. Let's see how well you can answer these questions. Question number 1. Why is it important to be up to date on non-Muslim social, political, and economic views in your society? Who can take the mic and answer that? Go ahead. Let's hear it. Come on, people. I can tell Mina must not be here, huh? I can't see in the Zoom.
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so one of the reasons is that we want to be updated of what they're going on. Like, say, for instance, if they try to have like a ban against wearing hijab or something like that, we want to have insight of what's going on so we can handle it in a whatever way we need to handle it. And that's one way.
MashaAllah. Excellent. Excellent. You need to know what they coming at us with. SubhanAllah. We got to know what's on their agenda. What they coming at with. You don't want to be like those Muslims caught off guard in France. Caught off guard in other parts of the world. Plus, it gives you a chance to make a plan. The correct plan on how to deal with it. You don't want to deal with it like the women in France did by shaving off your head. Shaving your hair, now you got the curse of Allah on you. So, good job. Anybody else want to comment on that? Good job, Mina. Okay, they ain't got no comments. Let's go to the next question. What must the Muslim constantly do to keep his, to keep his or her fitrah nourished, living in a secular society? Somebody other than Mina, come on, guys. What must you do as a Muslim to keep your fit? This is the same question. And I made this quiz yesterday. I can't believe it's the same question Dr. Asim asked y'all today. And nobody had an answer but Anissa. So I don't want Anissa to answer either. What must the Muslim constantly do to keep his or her fitrah nourished? When you're living in a secular society, when you're living in a non-Muslim society, when you're living in America. What do y'all think? It's the same question Dr. Asim asked. Nobody answered but Anissa. What must you do? This is easy. Y'all don't know what to do to keep your fitrah healthy?
I would think that you would have to continue to keep checking your belief system, your akida, to make sure that you're on the right track.
MashaAllah. That's one of the things to do. That's what Rashida does. That's why Rashida was born and raised, born in the USA. And look at her, still holding on to Sirat al-Mustaqim. She checked her belief system, checks it on a regular basis. What else?
Can you hear me?
Excuse me. Is somebody on the mic or not, y'all?
Hello?
Would you get on the mic and talk? We hear you.
I'm sorry, because I was saying hello before and nobody said anything. What I wanted to say was like keeping surrounded by people of strong faith that will keep us reminded, keep us grounded, not being tempted to be around people that can't feed our faith, can't help us, remind us about Allah, remind us about the good, remind us of what we need to be reminded of. To keep us grounded. So we need that strong surroundings of friends, faith-filled individuals, good community, the good Islamic community that's fruitful to help us grow in our deen, so that if we might fall, we have somebody to remind us and keep us grounded, where we could worship and just, keep in an environment that's positive, keep our families in an environment that's positive in all ways. So that's just
MashaAllah, that's the best answer you ever gave, Geechee. I can see that you really liked Dr. Asim's class today, didn't you? Because you participated in his class and you his class helped prepare for this one. Subhanallah.
No, this topic is deep, so it's just getting me in it.
Yeah, I'm proud of you. Good job. MashaAllah. So those are some things we can do. Constantly check our faith. Check your environment. Surround yourself with good people. Okay? All of these things. Do your religious duties and do them well. Make sure your intentions are for Allah. That's really important, guys. Let me talk about that. Hold on. Let me put the screen down for a minute so I can get the... See? Uh-oh. Where am I at? Y'all know I'm on these different computers. Different people talk about cameras. Layla got some real cameras she working. Hold on. Which camera is this? Y'all can tell I don't know which one. It done went black. Wait a minute. That's the wrong one. Anybody looking for a camera job? Layla's hiring. Just can't pay you no money. Okay. There, y'all get to see the list of names. Hello. Those are people in the Zoom room. Y'all see all them people in there? And only 2 people can answer questions, but I got about 100 in here. Y'all see that? 100 people in the Zoom room. Literally. And only 2 people can ever answer the questions. Oh yeah, my Zoom room be packed. And those be my students. I got a lot of students, guys. Is Brother Haitham in there, guys? Hold on for 1 second. Brother Haitham, I wanted to see, he had messaged me. I want to see, he wanted to share something. Hold on for a second. Is Brother Haitham in there? Do y'all see his name?
No, I don't see his name.
He said, oh, he's texting me? Why ain't he in the Zoom room? Okay. Brother Haitham is sharing with us how, Okay, this is what, and let me share what Brother Haitham, I wish he could come in here and talk about this. Hold on. Hold on. This is great what he shared. Can you come in the Zoom? We talk about boycotting. Boycotting can be a powerful thing if it's done correctly. Who is that? Y'all, let me know if Haitham comes in. Anybody else, get him off the mic. Boycotting can be a good thing if it's done correctly. McDonald's ain't gonna get it because McDonald's is a franchise. It is not owned by Israel. It ain't got nothing to do with Israel. Israel could give less than a darn about Mickey D's, and Ronald McDonald don't care about Israel. Okay, so no, but real boycotting, as Brother Haitham has just sent here, text me, Britain, Italy, the Netherlands, and Finland, these are top countries, became the latest countries today to pause funding for the UN Refugee Agency for Palestinians following allegations that some of its staff were involved in the Hamas attacks. You see that? This is against. Y'all see this? The US, Australia, and Canada had already paused funding to aid that agency, which was a critical source of support for the people in Gaza. You see, that's what hurts. See how the prophet said the Kafirs got that intelligence over us. While we're sitting around tripping over CoverGirl, Starbucks, Mickey D's, which are all American companies that don't give no money to Israel at all because it's a franchise. The Kafirs are laughing at us, and look what they're doing. They're hitting us where it hurts. The money we need for aid. That's how stupid Muslims are. While we're being caught up in stupidity, the Kafirs are laughing and bringing it to us. Y'all see that? So that's going to hurt the Muslims, the Ghazians, even more. Cutting off what we need. This is stuff that goes directly to those people. McDonald's don't go to them. Starbucks ain't got nothing to do with them. CoverGirl makeup, nothing to do with them. Nike shoes, nothing to do with them. But this agency is directly there funding them. They done cut off the money. While y'all sitting here boycotting McDonald's and Starbucks, CoverGirl. Idiots. Yeah, I wish Brother Haitham could come in there and talk about this. Did he come in here yet, guys?
No.
Okay.
No.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. And Brother Haitham, he's half Palestinian and half Egyptian, like Dr. Dramali. And Brother Haitham has family. He believes they all dead. He hasn't heard from his mother, his father, his sister who was sick, his brothers since this started. And his family is probably dead. He doesn't know and he's stressed out. Okay, he's coming in now. And I want him to talk about this. He's from Gaza. Let me know if he come in, guys, because I'm on the camera here. He's coming in. somebody that's really from Gaza. See, while you American Muslims and European Muslims get caught up on McDonald's, which ain't got nothing to do with nothing. These are the real agencies that supply to the Gazans that the non-Muslims have cut off, following the lead of America. While y'all keep on Starbucking and McDonald'sing it. Yeah. But alhamdulillah, guys, so this is why we need to be educated. And that's why I really like how Sheikh Kareem Abu Zayd talked about this in his book, how important it is for us to educate ourselves as to what's going on with business, commerce, politics and stuff, so we can take the appropriate steps, to do when doing things. Is Brother Haitham in here? Did he come in?
Yeah, he's here. He's
Okay, Brother Haitham, hold on for a second. Can you use your mic?
Assalamu alaikum. Yes, I can use my mic.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah. We're streaming live. We've got a lot of people listening, and I just wanted you to just share this thing that you just sent me. Are you able to use your camera?
No, I can't use.
You can't use the camera. You at work? Okay, he's probably at work too, guys. But anyway, use your mic and explain this article to the people that's listening here about what's happened here. Let them hear. Listen, he's from Gaza originally, and he hasn't heard from his family, and you still haven't heard from them, right?
This is they were deciding now to say, okay, the United Nations and Palestine and Gaza, they are not doing their job properly, and we need to not fund them anymore. So Canada, US, and Israel start this game, and now Finland and Europe joining Australia and all these Western countries. So the name or the list now is increasing day by day, and they're asking all other countries to join the team and not to give any humanitarian aid like medications and food to Gaza. Just leave them starve and to death. This is what they are trying to do.
Yeah. See,
because this United Nations is UNRWA. We call it UNRWA, and this is the short name of it. But it is the aid, the humanitarian aid for Palestine, for Gaza. And for now, they have list of countries already joined. Yeah. Now they started with let me check here. After 26,257 Palestinians have been killed and nearly 65,000 wounded so far. They are taking the humanitarian aid away from them, and they don't want to supply them with the basic needs.
You hear that, guys? That's what a boycott does.
Nation Refugee Welfare Agency for Gaza has been established like around 70 years ago. And it is for Palestinian refugee.
You sound so sad, Brother Haitham. So you still haven't had any word about any of your parents or nothing, right? Brother Haitham? Right. Is he still in there? You know he's at work too, guys. He's sneaking. Brother Haitham.
Yeah, can you hear?
Yeah, now I
can.
You still haven't heard nothing from you about your sister and your mother and them?
No, nobody. Communication is very difficult. Nobody can communicate with any family there, or unless you can watch the news, because it's connected to the satellite. Satellite is the communication for that, and the humanitarian aid for Gaza from United States of America, Australia, and Canada, and then they added up Britain, UK, Italy, and Netherlands, and Finland, and there's more coming.
Oh yeah.
Because they wanna help Israelis to start what they call a civil war in Gaza. They wanna start a conflict, like fitna. Like, oh, okay, let's go back. What's the cause of this?
Yeah. And see, that's the power of a boycott, you know, a real one. You're cutting off the supplies that they need, those direct supplies that they need to survive with. That's a real boycott. You Muslims got to get educated. Boycotting a franchise ain't got nothing to do with it.
Any other question?
No, you did a great job. And I just want you to know, Brother Haitham, all of us here have been thinking about you and your family and making dua. I've been making dua for you a lot, and hoping that, you know, that your family is okay wherever they are, especially your sister, you know, subhanAllah, the one that needs the medicine. That means no medicine. They get no medicine, no food, no nothing. No nothing. That's a boycott. Direct boycott. Are you Muslims doing that? No. Because you don't know what a boycott is. You don't know what a franchise is. You don't know the difference between America and Israel. You people got issues. Better get educated. All right. I'm going to close out right here, guys. Inshallah, the next class for tonight is going to be at 9. We're going to be studying the Articles of Faith. We're going to cover the Articles of Faith and the book written by Sheikh Muhammad Saeed Atli. Please join us at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to close out so we can talk with Brother Haitham, because Brother Haitham sounds kind of out of it, doesn't he, guys? Are you okay, Haitham? Haitham, you sound so sad. Are you all alone by yourself?
Can't open this microphone.
What, you want to turn on the camera? Let me get the camera. Hold on. I got to, you know, I'm working all these different programs here. Hold on, guys. Let me log on to here. Where's Zoom? I got to come on here. Where's Haitham? Oh, there your name is. Now I see you. Okay. Yeah, see if you can work it now. Can you work it now? You sound so sad. I've never heard you sound this way before.
Anyway, it doesn't allow.
Can you turn your camera on? I want to see how you look. Out of concern, seriously, because you sound bad. You trying to turn it on?
Yes, because the microphone option was gone. I'm not sure. Did you hear me earlier when I was talking?
We heard you, yes. We just, we heard you then, but you're not going to turn on your camera?
No, camera, I can't do camera. I'm not feeling well for the last 5 days.
Yeah, I can see you sound horrible.
No, I'm not feeling well there is kind of something in the air. I'm not sure what it is. They just, as you mentioned clearly, for 70 years, they are responsible to give the funding for this United Nations agency for the 3 million people in Gaza, because they forced them to move from middle of Palestine to Gaza. Actually, these people used to live in the middle of Palestine, north, west, and east of Palestine, and south. They moved all those people to Gaza. They moved them by force. Half of Gaza people, they're not from Gaza, from middle of somewhere else in Palestine. And they promised to give them this basic needs, which is food and medication. And now, because of this war, they say, no, there is 3 or 4 workers of you, they will be involved in 7 October. It's not possible, because United Nations workers, they are all with only teachers or hospital or in the agency giving basic needs to the people. They are not allowed to to be with the 7 October. That's been known for like many years, but they're just playing games, you know. It's American, Canadian, Western game that with Israelis that, oh, let's accuse this Honorable people that they get in, that they are well involved in 7 October to remove the aid from
just to
them
take
and
the
let them
aid
die.
away. Yeah, this is the game that America plays, just to take away the little aid they were getting. So now the people are not even going to get that,
The aid is flowers, medication. As I mentioned, 65,000 people want it. So they need band-aids and they need medical equipment and supplies to take care of themselves. And also they are not allowed to touch the hospital. We have like around 70 hospitals in Gaza. They destroy all of them.
Right.
They are not allowed, if it's not genocide, okay, why going anywhere near a hospital?
Right.
And also, you don't need to go to hospital. You have a United Nations agency. They can have from each country a group of people. They can go and check the hospitals for you. If you are worried that there is people belong to 7 October, they are hiding in hospital. Nobody there. You can send people, international United Nations, foreign affairs people. They can go with Israelis health workers and check the hospitals for you. If you don't trust other people from Western, you can send your own people to join the international team, and they can do an inspection. So to send your army to destroy the hospital, it's also doesn't make sense. Like the other thing, masjid. I like 10,000 masjid. You destroy all the masjid. There is nowhere to pray. Like what you are trying to do, like even the 5-time prayers, you don't want them to do it. Like what do you want to, like they can't do anything now. They have no masjid left, no hospital left.
That's sad.
And more than 7,000 school. They used to go and shelter in school. They destroy all the schools. They take the water away. They took hydro away from schools, from hospitals, and from the masjids, and they destroy them all. So you tell me what's left? I mean, there's nothing left.
There's nothing left. It's just barren. Just nothing's left.
And now there is a heavy rain, and they are living in mud, in a pure mud. If you see the videos about the heavy rain in the last 48 hours, they are sinking in mud. I see children sleeping in the mud. How you sleep in mud? And then the rain mixed with the garbage bags because nobody's taking garbage away. The water mixed with the garbage, with the mud, and they sleep inside that, like a slum sinkhole, like sewer water mixed with mud. That's where they are sleeping now. They have nowhere to take a shower. There's no washroom left. The woman said, where I can take a washroom. There's no privacy. There's no washroom, no shower, can't pray. I saw them today on the TV. Say we can't pray anymore. We are dirty. We can't pray. We have najasa. We can't pray. How we can pray? We can't clean ourselves to be able to pray. We can't do anything. So I'm not sure. Like we are living in 2024.
Yeah, this is some sickness. This is sickness.
Now, and if you see the Israelis channel, they are all of them saying Israelis now fighting each other, cursing each other, beating each other, hating each other. Like Israelis, the one who doesn't want to continue with the war, with the Israelis, they want to continue the war. They are dividing half and half. Now 50% of the Israelis want to stop the war because it's too bad and people watching. And the other half, the criminal half, they want to continue with the war. So even there is big fitna in Israel itself, in the Jewish themselves. If we can one day find a Jewish, I can host him and he can tell you from Israel, Jewish, who doesn't want to continue the war, he can explain it more than me that how bad how much conflict in Israel they have about this war. But the government, supported by United States government, and they are not government actually, they are regime government and United States criminal government supporting all that. And they continue giving them billions and billions of dollars from your tax money. My tax money is going to kill my own people. These people in Gaza as Muslims, we are all Muslim nations where we are all one. Doesn't matter. Forget about American, Palestinian, Egyptian. Doesn't matter nationalities. We are all Muslims who share the same religion. So we cannot allow this to keep going.
Right.
They need access. These single mothers, there is no place in the world has more single mothers than Gaza.
Yeah.
There's like 1 million single mother with children under 10 years old. They have no access to water, no access to hydro, no access to nothing. And now you take the aid away from them.
Took it away. That's sad. This is, oh my goodness.
And the aid was not enough. 50% of the people for the last 100 days, they are not receiving even that aid.
Right.
What they're talking about, they are joking about. And they said, oh, we take the aid away because there is a few workers. Israel said, Israel, since when they are saying the truth? They are professional liars, these people.
Yeah.
You know the history of Israelis and Jewish. How many times they try to kill Prophet Rasulullah Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam?
Yes.
How many times? How many times they try to kill him? You tell the people. Who are they are? This Israeli Jewish Zionist.
Yeah, they killed their prophets. Allah sent to them, many of them.
And how many prophets and messengers of Allah before Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam? They already killed. Actually, they killed them.
They have.
They did kill a lot of prophets and messengers of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And now they are killing all these poor people, broken families in Gaza. They are all broken families. There's nowhere in the world they have more broken families than Gaza. Either the mother already died, or the father died, or the mother and the father died. And there's children in the streets of Gaza, 7 years old and 8 years old, walking now on the streets. And they have no father, no mother, and they don't know where to go.
Right.
Thousands of them. Thousands of children under 10 years old in Gaza streets now, homeless. They have nowhere to go. And if they are looking for a cousin or a relative, they cannot find them. They don't know who is still alive. They said we killed 26,000, and I told you, they are not 26,000 who already killed. There are more than 70,000.
Yes.
And I think there are almost 500,000 people already going to, before end of this war, lose their lives. And with this aid, I think they want to kill them all. The 3 million Muslims in Palestine are going to die slowly with disease. A lot of them have cancer.
Yeah.
And single mother yesterday, she has the children in the mud. She showed me, her feet was in the mud. I see the dirt all over herself. What to do? What to do? Tell me, you guys tell me what to do. She's still the cameraman. Show this to the world. What do you want us to do? She said, I can't pray. We are so dirty. Najasa, how we can perform prayers, man? You don't want us to pray? You don't want us to practice our
They want to break them of everything.
You don't want to. I need only basic needs. I don't feed food for myself. I need food for this under 10 years old children. They don't understand what's going on. They don't know. Like, it's very sad. I told you I have sleeping disorder for the last
I know
100 days. It's just increasing. Keep calling sick from work, and I went to work, and one guy was making a joke about Palestine, Gaza. I gave it to him. Police has to come. Big fight with the police and everybody there. Said, what's wrong? Said the manager said, if you are stressed, we can put you on stress leave. I said, yeah, I have a war in my country. And this guy is trying to make a joke of my own people who's dying every day. Huh?
Yeah. And
Like,
see, for those
like
that
I told
that's
this
just,
Canadian, like you have no feeling for humanity.
yeah, that's
What is your
bad.
feeling about it?
I didn't
Because
know.
they are Muslims. Like one of them, they say their children has to die before the adults, because these children, when they grow up, they will be a real Muslim. And when they are real Muslims, they are dangerous to us. They have to die now before they grow up. Can you believe that?
Yeah, that's the
Right.
Zionist way of speaking. That was Hitler's thing too. Yeah,
Yeah.
guys, for those of y'all listening, I'm gonna cut this off for you guys because we all have another class at 9. So I'm gonna log out from here, but we'll log back in after 9. So for you all, subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu